Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Tuesday, the 5th of May. This is CTV News. Tonight, a bus carrying children crashes in Nova Scotia's Annapolis Valley. The dairy debate, two very different views on a producer's restructuring plans. And signs of spring, the annual baby boom at Hope for Wildlife.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. Relief tonight for a great many Haligonians after an uncomfortable and worrisome evening. RCMP issuing an emergency alert in HRM around 8:15 tonight, warning of, quote, a dangerous man with a machete in Musquodoboit Harbor. Police describing the suspect as 6 feet tall with brown hair and eyes. The alert said he was seen in a wooded area near Pepeswick Road. 40 minutes later, a revised alert was issued correcting the address to Pepeswick Drive in Gatesbrook, 5 minutes away. Residents were being urged to seek shelter, stay inside, close and lock their doors. But an update just a short time ago, about 11:10 as a matter of fact, say the alert has now been lifted and police will remain on the scene. Updates will be posted to the Mounties social media accounts, and of course we will update you as well before the end of the broadcast. Again, though, the emergency alert issued earlier in HRM canceled now this evening by Nova Scotia RCMP. It was a frightening time for more than 24 children in the Annapolis Valley of Nova Scotia yesterday when the bus they were on left the road. CTV's Callum Smith has the details.
It started over there, and he bounced out of there, and then went that one, and then it stopped right here.
They are culverts, and it was a bus carrying 25 kids from across the Annapolis Valley. A chaotic scene on Tisha Burrell's front lawn.
When I seen a few students coming off there, I seen like a couple of them were bleeding and had bloody noses and stuff.
The students are part of Cantamar Youth Choirs of the Annapolis Valley. There were also 3 adults on board.
The bus that they were on, one of the back wheels hit a culvert, and on that road, it was a back road, there was several culverts in a row, and the bus just kept hitting them and swerved.
Leaving the kids shaken up.
Mostly they were minor injuries because they were bumped around. Lots of kids hit their heads, and so they were sent to hospital just for further investigation.
She says 11 choristers were taken to hospital, 1 via life flight, but that girl was sent home and is said to be doing well. Police had little new information today, including what caused the bus to leave the road.
We still are gathering information and reviewing that information, so at this time, the cause of the crash is still under investigation.
But for people here, it was a fright like no other.
Worried to death, with the kids. Yeah, it's nice to know that everybody's going to be okay.
Some of the kids on the bus said they thought the bus was going to tip right over, and thankfully that didn't happen. So we are so happy to report that, our kids are home with their families, shaken up for sure, but healing at home.
Callum Smith, CTV News, Somerset, Nova Scotia.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
The company behind a plan to process stockpiled ore at Nova Scotia's idled Torquay gold mine says it's already signed contracts worth $56 million. Atlantic Mining Nova Scotia, a subsidiary of an Australian company, was granted approval on April 10th. The mine, about 70 kilometers northeast of Halifax, is expected to start processing 3 million tons of ore in November, and if everything goes well, they'll start shipping to the Royal Canadian Mint next year. The project will create about 200 jobs, but it only runs for about 14 months. It is a dubious milestone. The price of a liter of gasoline has now hit the $2 mark in parts of the region. Prices went up in PEI overnight. Rising costs, in fact, are putting a real chill on summer travel plans, from the family road trip to flying. Your CTV's Jonathan McGuinness now with more on the risk to tourism around here.
Maritimers have seen gas prices surge in recent weeks. $1.91.7 in the Halifax area for regular self-serve. It's about the same in New Brunswick, while PEI has cracked the $2 a litre mark. Filling up a vehicle is costly. Aviation fuel is also sky high.
3 months ago, we were paying $65 a barrel U.S. for aviation fuel. It's now going north of $150.
To counter those costs, airlines have been adding fuel surcharges to their ticket prices. WestJet has applied $60 to their bookings, while Air Canada has tacked on an extra $50. Despite the growing costs, Canadians aren't staying home. Statistics Canada research shows domestic air travel rose by 10% in March compared to the same time last year. Numbers that hold true for Maritimers.
In the first quarter of 2026, we actually saw a record quarter for CA Atlantic and for travel in Atlantic Canada. Consumer behavior is not changing despite what's happening geopolitically and with prices.
It may not last, however. John Graddick says fuel prices are still on the rise. Vacationers may soon start having second thoughts.
So if you haven't got your ticket and you haven't bought your ticket yet for summer travel, be prepared for sticker shock.
Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Halifax.
Speaking of travel, New Brunswick's largest airport saw steady growth last year, welcoming more than 650,000 passengers. Along with the flight data released today, the Greater Moncton International Airport, AGM, highlighted new routes to Western Canada and Ottawa. The airport says it's looking to build on that momentum by adding new services to Toronto and Montreal this spring and summer. Officials at the airport say they're already thinking about what comes after that, including longer haul destinations and a terminal expansion.
Working closely with our board of directors on what a future terminal expansion would look like. We're seeing a strong interest in Vancouver as an example, and so that's something we're actively working towards. We think we would have the numbers to support, say, a weekly flight to Paris or London. It's a heavier lift, but that would be the dream to add that to our route map.
New service to Toronto, operated by Flair, is set to begin next week. The airport also says exports like live lobster continue to play a key role in connecting the region to global markets like Asia and Europe. Nova Scotia is overhauling the way it supports people who live with disabilities. Instead of funding organizations, it is sending money directly to individuals. The province says the sweeping change empowers people to live more independently, and they say it's long overdue.
The last jurisdiction in the country to actually move to a process of making sure that persons with disabilities have the ability to live in community. Many other jurisdictions did it over decades. We're doing it over a 5-year period.
I'm concerned that funding will be cut, core funding will be cut for day programming before individual funding is in place, and everybody truly understands what it means.
The department says it will continue to work with community support groups, and grants and other funding will remain available. Unifor members will meet tomorrow with national leaders to discuss the impending closure of the Dairytown plant in Sussex. That issue was also front and center in the legislature today. The opposition says taxpayer money was used to eliminate jobs, while the Holt government insists its deal with Agripur will ultimately benefit the whole province. Here's CTV's Nick Moore.
The winding down of operations at Agripur's Dairytown plant in Sussex, New Brunswick, alongside government funding of up to $2.4 million to help expand the Agripur plant in Miramichi, has the official opposition asking for every detail of the contract to be made public.
So that the public can know exactly when this government found out that there were going to be 60 job losses in Sussex. Or can the Premier just be radically transparent with people right here, right now, in the People's House, and tell them directly when she learned that there would be 60 job losses? She either knew in advance or was unaware. Neither option is good.
Premier Susan Holt was in the legislature today. Minister responsible for Labour, Alison Townsend, and Minister responsible for Opportunities NB, Luke Randall, answered all the questions related to Agripur today.
Agripur had shared that it was assessing different scenarios across the Maritimes, and we understood that this could include potential operational changes within the region. including Sussex, Madam Speaker.
The provincial government has insisted that it did not know what Agri-Peer's plans were when it announced the $2.4 million in funding back in February, but says the deal is good for New Brunswick as a whole.
This deal adds to our GDP. It sets us up for long-term growth with this company. And it's important to remember our government support in Miramichi will ensure that dairy processing capacity remains here in New Brunswick.
The people of Sussex feel blindsided. They see their Agri-Pure plant closing where our amazing Dairytown butter is made. And the Premier used their tax dollars to do it to them.
Agri-Pure says it plans to shut down its Sussex plant by the end of 2028. Nick Moore, CTV News, Fredericton.
Okay, thank you, Nick. We'll step aside for a moment. Still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast. And we'll visit one event today in honor of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Coming up next, though, still feeling the effects.
We didn't maybe consider that 6 years down the road we would still be dealing with these things.
The pandemic officially ended 3 years ago today, but students especially are still feeling the impact. Details next. Come on back.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Join us tomorrow at 7 for the brand new $1,000 Minute Jackpot Edition.
Keep your winnings or throw them into the jackpot for your chance to win thousands.
Some ways it feels like a lifetime ago, but 3 years ago today, the World Health Organization declared an end to the COVID pandemic. Even so, the impact of the disruption is still being felt in schools. As CTV's Vanessa Wright tells us tonight, it's not just homework that students are trying to catch up on.
It was a moment in time that shifted every sector and system on Earth. And though today marks 3 years since the World Health Organization declared an end to the COVID-19 pandemic, its effects are still lingering in many places, including in the classroom. Laura Lee Burgess with the Oxford Learning Center sees it firsthand in mostly junior high students who were in elementary school when the pandemic hit. She says their fundamental skills fell behind.
So the reading, writing, spelling, math, those were the core concepts that were significantly impacted, and we do continue to see that today.
And eventually it impacted their social skills too.
You know, they're not as willing to kind of put themselves out there and try new things. So that lack of confidence, the lack of self-esteem has really perpetuated since that time.
But students aren't the only ones playing catch up. Teachers are also having to adapt. They're navigating a classroom filled with different learning abilities. A one-size-fits-all lesson just doesn't exist anymore.
I remember hearing back during COVID that it would take, research was showing back then that it would take up to 10 years to return to those pre-literacy rates. And it's, we're 6 years out now, or I guess 3 officially, but it's definitely an ongoing battle.
One that doesn't appear to have a set timetable. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Vanessa. We'll step aside for a quick little minute here, but when we come back, your complete maritime weather forecast. It was sure windy today, wasn't it? Kaylin Mitchell will tell us what to expect as the week rolls on next. Okay, it's Tuesday night, and you know me. I like to come up with something to complain about each and every day.
Fire away, Bruce.
Yeah, sure.
This is your time.
Yeah. Beyond the wind, the wind today was pretty wild, but you know, frankly, the rest of it was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Bright, sunny sky across much of the Maritimes for today. Away from the coast, where that gusty wind that Bruce mentioned kept things a little bit cooler. We had some high temperatures today that climbed up to the low to mid-20s in the Maritimes. Near the end of the day, there were some showers, a few thunderstorms that moved into the northwestern quarter corner of New Brunswick. And for parts of New Brunswick for tonight, there's some more showers moving through. Other parts of the Maritime seeing some increase in cloudiness and some fog patches developing. Now, we do have a weather system that I'm keeping track of. It's this front that's making its way through Ontario and Quebec, and that will move into the Maritimes Wednesday into Thursday, slowly bringing wet weather more widespread for the region through that period of time, which we're going to take a look at right now in our forecast timeline. Let's bring it forward to the start of the day for tomorrow. So most parts of the Maritimes can expect a cloudy start to the day. There'll be some fog patches around. There will be some showers making their way through northern areas of New Brunswick. And throughout the day on Wednesday, some periods of both rain and showers in the north of that province, with a lower chance that a couple odd showers could drift through central and southern areas of New Brunswick. Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, Wednesday afternoon, we'll see the sun break through and away from the coast. Once again, temperatures will be on the warmer side. Now, heading into Wednesday evening and Wednesday night, that front continues to work its way into the Maritimes, so the rain progresses across New Brunswick. It even fills into Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, as we head into the overnight and Thursday morning. And in Thursday's forecast right now around the Maritimes, rain, drizzle, and fog. And within the rain, there will be the risk of some downpours. Taking a look at the winds in the forecast for tomorrow. Well, if you notice them today, you're going to notice them again on Wednesday. Very similar winds in the forecast. Out of the southwest, some fairly widespread gusts, 30 to 60 kilometers per hour. The one area that sees a change in the wind direction will be up in the north of New Brunswick as that front comes through. The winds become north and northwest. Slight diminishment of the winds as that front arrives. Taking a look at temperatures in the forecast for tonight, most of the lows will be around the high single digits and low teens. Your high temperatures for tomorrow in the north of New Brunswick, because of the rain and the showers moving through, held cooler between 10 and 14 degrees. Miramichi a little bit milder with a high near 18. 17 for Fredericton for tomorrow and for St. Stephen, and 12 for St. John around the Bay of Fundy coastline. 19 degrees for Moncton. And Prince Edward Island for tomorrow with a lot of high temperatures in the low 20s, except 17 degrees on parts of the coast. It'll be a cloudy morning with the sun breaking through in the afternoon, as it will for Nova Scotia. Cape Breton tomorrow, high temperatures, high teens, low 20s, except on the Atlantic coastline there between 12 and 15 degrees. That continues down to the eastern shore of mainland Nova Scotia, whereas the North Shore should have high temperatures mostly between 19 and 21. 20 for Truro for tomorrow, 17 for the city centers Halifax and Dartmouth, 19 for Amherst. Another warm day for the Annapolis Valley, high temperatures near 23 for Kentville and Middleton, 17 for Digby. And then on the south shore of Nova Scotia, the coastal areas, high temperatures 15 to 18 degrees. Now, because the wet weather is lingering a little bit longer in the north of New Brunswick, a special weather statement has been issued there. Overall rainfall totals moving through basically tonight into Thursday could total 40 millimeters or more for any viewers in the Gaspé Peninsula in Quebec. There's some rainfall warnings in effect, same period of time, but the rainfall totals could be 30 to 50 millimeters. For New Brunswick, most of the rain and the shower should be wrapping up Thursday morning. About a 30% chance of a shower on Friday. Saturday, mix of sun and cloud showers in the forecast for Sunday. Rain possible on Monday of next week, followed by a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday. For Nova Scotia, in the forecast, rain and fog for Thursday. About a 30-40% chance of a shower during the day on Friday. A mix of sun and cloud for the start of the weekend on Saturday. Showers return on Sunday with the possibility of rain on Monday, and then cloudy periods on Tuesday of next week. And for Prince Edward Island, in the forecast, rain and fog on Thursday. It's followed by a chance of a shower on Friday. A mix of sun and cloud at the start of the weekend on Saturday. Highs near 14. Highs near 12 on Sunday with showers. Rain possible on Monday of next week, and then cloudy periods on Tuesday. Bruce.
That'll just fill up the complaint calendar for the rest of the week.
Yeah, every 1, 2, 3 days there.
Yeah, why not? Okay, wake up weather still to come. Stay with us. Be right back.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
May the 5th is dedicated to remembering missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and 2S people. The numbers are pretty staggering. Indigenous women and girls are 12 times more likely to be murdered than other Canadians. Today, communities right across the country held ceremonies and memorials to raise awareness and break the cycle. CTV's Ryan McDonald attended one at Membertou today.
Her smile, her friendliness, her eyes were blue. Andrea Dennis is remembering her niece, Jasmine Nicholas Cloud. She says the 25-year-old was found dead in this home on Ling Street in New Waterford on April 22nd. A man, 32-year-old Zachary Paul Landry, has been charged with second-degree murder in connection with the case.
It's really breaking my sister's heart, especially when it's your only child. And she was such a beautiful kid.
Genevieve Francis. A bell rang out for each missing or murdered Indigenous woman or girl remembered here today at the Red Dress Park in front of the police station in Membertou.
When you look nationally, it sort of makes you step back and you think, oh my God.
Barry Gordon spent 9 of his 50 years in policing stationed here in Membertou, where he learned more about the challenges Indigenous women face when it comes to domestic violence.
And please don't be afraid to call the police to look for help for them.
Every year our walk gets bigger, so that tells me that it is getting out there.
In Halifax, a good-sized crowd marched through the provincial capital. Back in Membertou, a bald eagle, which are sacred to the Mi'kmaq, flew overhead just as today's walk ended. And the aunt of a young woman who died less than 2 weeks ago had one final message.
She was somebody's child. She was somebody's niece. She was somebody's sister, somebody's friend. And never forget her.
Ryan McDonald, CTV News on the Membertou First Nation.
Thank you, Ryan. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, baby animals, signs of spring at Hope for Wildlife. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at the Armdale roundabout on this Tuesday evening. Not a whole lot of traffic. 10 degrees, though. Kaylin will tell you how to dress for the morning next. Hard to believe, middle of the week already. It's Wednesday morning, and how should we dress in the morning?
Well, it's not going to be as sunny tomorrow morning as it was Tuesday morning in the Maritimes. It's going to be pretty cloudy. There'll be some fog patches around, so be careful about some areas of reduced visibility. How you do want to dress? Maybe a rain jacket for northern New Brunswick. There'll be some showers and some periods of rain through that part of the Maritimes throughout the day. In the afternoon, the sun does break through a little bit for both Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. And then remember, the entire region sort of gets into some soggy conditions late Wednesday night and into Thursday morning. Bruce.
All right, thank you, sir. Well, Hope for Wildlife has been busy caring for new baby residents, as they always do every time at this year. CTV's Paul DeWitt takes us to the rehab center, where there are plenty of signs of spring.
Hi, I'm Hope Swinnemer, and you're in Seaforth, Nova Scotia at Hope for Wildlife Society. And it's that time of year where we're getting lots and lots of calls. People are having conflicts with our natural world, with nature, and we're here to give advice on what to do when that happens. Already this year we have baby foxes, baby seal pup, baby raccoons, baby squirrels. I think we got our first baby groundhog today, so we're getting lots in. Oftentimes people have live trapped out mothers and relocated them, so that's very unfortunate, and the babies come here to Hope for Wildlife, and we raise them up and get them back to the wild. However, our whole mission is to avoid that from happening to begin with. So we're here to help people with those kind of problems. Just know that if you see wildlife around your property this time of year, there are usually babies, almost always. So be aware that you cannot live trap. It's probably the worst thing you can do. Before you know it, the white-tailed deer fawns will start to be born. And what a lot of people don't realize is mom doesn't get those babies up to go with her right away. She leaves them in safe zones, places she feels are safe. They may not look safe to us, but to the mom, that's where she chose to leave them. And just sometime taking a quick little snapshot and sending it to us, we can tell whether they look healthy or not.
Always great to hear from Hope. Okay, that is your late news for this Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, as a matter of fact. If you joined us a little bit late, or you'd like to take a closer look at any of our stories tonight, ctvnewsatlantic.ca is your home for news, and it updates right around the clock. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening. We do hope to see you again tomorrow night.